Alec Edwards to introduce his guest this morning. Good morning to you, buddy. I see you. I see you. I see you. We'll be back right after this.
In case you don't know us, you're just twisting the dial away and managed to bump into us. This is ZIZ Radio from Adam St. Kitts.
Learn a few skills if you're already.
Good morning to those of you listening via radio, internet, or whatever social media platform. I am Alec Edwards, Inspector of Police, and the host for today's program, Policing with You. My guest this morning is Sergeant Matthew Maguire, the sergeant in charge of the Old Police Station. He's here to engage the general public just how the community can better carry out their civic responsibility to ensure the communities are safe. This program will take its normal format: intro, question and answer, closing. Sergeant Maguire, how long have you been a police officer, and is this what you saw yourself doing as a career?
All right, so thank you, Inspector. Morning to our radio listeners, both home and abroad. And it's always a pleasure to have the opportunity to come and engage the general public in relation to police-related matters. And so as for me, I've been a police officer. In fact, in a matter of weeks, it will make me exactly 31 years.
Wow.
31 years being a police officer. And so what inspired me is that, as most people know, I'm originally from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And so growing up, I was inspired and always wanted to become a teacher. And at some point while growing up during my teenage years, I joined the police band cadet in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and having been exposed to the kind of discipline and the opportunity to serve the public at a national level, I thought that that would have been a better thing to do. And so when the opportunity came for me to be enlisted in the Royal St. Christopher Navy's Police Force, I had actually, in the process of enlisted in the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Service, but I wanted to adventure a little bit to see what it's like being outside, being on your own. And so since the opportunity was presented to me, I took the opportunity, and I've been here ever since. The beauty of it is that having been a police officer, it also assists me in fulfilling that lifetime dream of being a teacher, because you would know that I was part of the drug abuse resistance education program, where we would have had intervention in the education system in the school for 10 years or so. So I feel like I have accomplished that ambition.
Yeah, that's where I met you first.
Yes.
There when I was in high school. So a lot of people don't understand what being a police officer is like. What has been your experience as a police officer?
Right. So the experience, policing has always allowed for tremendous benefits. As I said, you are exposed to discipline, you are exposed to national service, and so that is what I take pride in really providing service, being able to be of assistance to persons in need. And so I love what I do. Over the years, it has been good and bad, in the sense that you find you have to live with the fact that policing is a thankless job, in the sense that if you do, you are praised, and if you don't do, you're damned. And so you have to accept that fact that even when you do good, some people might see something bad in that good, and even when you do bad, persons of course hold you accountable. And so I will say that being committed to the task is one of the thing that I find motivation in, just being able to serve.
Yeah, thank you, Sergeant Maguire. What would you say to someone who wants to be a police officer?
Right, so joining the police service is a great and let me say an excellent opportunity. You have the opportunity to apart from the discipline, you are being exposed to the law, knowledge of the law. You are being able to have that sense of civic responsibility, and additionally you get the opportunity to because the police force consists of several departments, so you are exposed to different areas of service in general police duty. Plus you get the opportunity to travel, to network, to do training, and it teaches you to save.
Yes, that's most important.
It teaches you to save. So there are tremendous benefits. So for a young person, I will encourage any young person to become a police officer, because one, you're giving back to your country from a national level. But the thing about it, you have to have the commitment. You cannot see it as a vocation, you have to really see it that you have to be driven with purpose. So it's not that you just come because you know, well, you at the end of the month you get a salary. You have to be able to say, hey, I want to be a police officer because I want to serve my country. I remember recently we had a lecture with Assistant Commissioner Adams, and one of the things that he did that I thought was good is that police officers, well, without the SPOs, all the constables and the recruit, those who have a certain amount of years, he have them stand up and restate why they join the police force, why they become a police officer. And some of the answers, even though they are similar, but most people join the police force because they want to serve. And I think that is quite noble.
Yes. GQ, let's break at this juncture. Upon our return, we'll solicit calling from the general public. Thank you.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Census 2021. Are you ready? 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 Census 2021. It's me, you, us. 2021 census. It's me, you, us. 2021 census. So sound the alarm and get on the bus. We're moving forward without a fuss. It's me, you, us. 2021 census.
Hold on, stop. Think about the drink before you take a drop. Read up on the label on the back. They say science, sugar, low and fat. But don't be fooled by that. Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody, hey.
This message is brought to you by Lake Health and Wellbeing.
At Nature's Discount, the herbal store on 4th Street, we provide herbal supplements for all your needs. Blood sugar, blood pressure, prostate, liver, heart, kidney, and more. Oils, pure herbal teas, wholesome vitamins, healthy foods, alkaline water, bodybuilding supplements, weight loss and sexual health supplements, even hair and body care products. We support the natural health of the whole family. Get healthy naturally. Call us at 662-5447. Like us on Facebook, Nature's Discount Nutrition Center. Your get healthy, feel wealthy people.
GQ, we are back. Thank you. Do you have any calls? Yes, caller, we listening?
Okay, Inspector Alric. Inspector Alric, can you hear me?
Yes, good morning. I can hear you, sir.
You and my brother Jam Down is very good friends. I'm the oldest brother. I live in New York City. I gotta ask you a question. All my life of growing up in St. Kitts, we always had police from all over the Leeward and Windward Islands. Why is it we still have police from those other islands?
You can kind of tell the caller the question too clearly. So can you repeat the question?
My question is why in St. Kitts and Nevis we still have police officers from different islands. When I was growing up, that was the norm. But I thought by now St. Kitts had enough young men and women that could go join the police department.
To answer that question, sir, I don't think persons are wants to be a police officer in St. The men and women, but most women want to be police officers, but the males per se do not really want to be police officers. I think that we need to have more educational drive to persuade person who are finishing 5th form and college to join the police force. I don't think person really too intrigued with the joining of the police force. I don't know if Mr. McGuire wants to.
Well, I think that is changing somewhat because for the last 2 or 3 courses,
the number
was pretty much predominantly locals joining the force. But I think, sir, that it was the societal orientation. That is my view. That sometimes growing up, parents tend to steer their children in towards certain professions,
right.
And policing was not one of them. Policing seems to be somewhat attractive for whatever reason. I'm not sure, but I think now it's that perception is changing because quite a lot of young people have been expressing interest in becoming police officers. In fact, I remember quite recently we had an open, Sandy Point High School, Charles E. Mill had a career there sometime early up in the year, and police were invited, and so we had a display some of the different uniforms and other things, and you would be I wasn't surprised but impressed that the amount of students who have found interest in coming and inquiring and even attempting to try on some of the police gears. So that is an indication that the perception of local or nationals not wanting to become police officers is somewhat changing. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Matthew McGuire, Sergeant. Any more question? Caller, we listening?
Hello?
Caller?
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Inspector, and good morning, Matthew McGuire.
Morning,
Yes,
Mr.
morning.
Wilshire.
I know you pick up my voice.
Yes, I do.
And McGuire, I must say, I'm so impressed with your opening statement.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I got the pleasure of knowing you when you came to the Federation with your colleagues.
Right.
And over the years,
And as you rightly say, in any job you have your ups and your downs.
Yeah.
But to me, you have done a tremendous job in representing the Federation in everything that you have done in relation to policing.
Thank you so much for that.
I just feel proud to know that we were on the same course 21.
Right.
And I know a lot of our colleagues.
I was trying to squeeze in the part so that the listening public could know that we were both course mates.
Yep. And you couldn't put it better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If I was close to you, I think I would have given you a sheep egg. But on a serious note, you know what I mean? You hit the nail right on its head.
Yeah.
And for me, personally, you have to have that love. Anything you're doing, you have to have a love, a passion. It makes the whole world of difference. Once you have that passion for anything. So my question to you before I wrap up, Mr. Maguire, you are in leadership position in relation to you are the sergeant at Old Road. What things you do and continue to do to motivate the younger staff that are around you in relation to anything in relation to the work, just to have them motivated? Because as I said, in leadership you have to be able to motivate your younger staff. So I would like to hear some of the things you are doing and continue to do to motivate your younger staff.
Right.
Keep that position that you have in relation to being the best you can be. And we are human beings, and there are gonna be good days and bad days. But I can personally say I am proud of you, Matthew Maguire, the way you have committed to the work over the years. 30 years is not 30 days. You know what I mean? And you attained the position of sergeant, and it didn't come easy. You had the ups and downs. So I'm proud of you. Continue and just be the best you can be, Mr. Matthew Maguire. And for the show, it's a great show. So guys, continue this show. It's very educational, and I'm convinced that other youngsters will definitely listen to you, Maguire, in particular, and will want to join the police force. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Yeah, and equally so, I want to thank you for those kind words. Having served with you as a police officer and also trained, I know that you would have done a very good job and continue to do a good job where you are presently. And so to your question, as most people know that I would have spent quite a while doing the DA program, and that has been a model program, I believe, for any young person. In fact, persons who were benefactors of the DA program during the time of its execution, I remember that person would have indicated to me, when I want to grow up, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be this and that. And so even today, there are quite a few of these persons who in fact pursue that dream and are lawyers today, and we continue to interact and engage. Presently working at Old Road Policing District, I continue to visit the schools and engage and interact with other children, and so in terms of continuing that encouragement and that motivation for young people, I still do that in an active way as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Maguire. You know, when you answered the first question, you would have indicated that after joining the SVG Cadet Band Corps, then is when you go the aspiration to join the police force, have you said?
Right, yes.
Okay.
I wanted to, my minor changed from being a teacher and wanted to be a police officer, despite the fact when I was growing up, I was afraid of police. Even in my community, if my mother sent me to the job and I having to pass the police station, I take a longer route because I don't want to have to come in contact with police officers. That's how much I was afraid of police officers. But the cadet exposed me to that kind of interest, and I thought that would have been the best way to serve. In as much as our teaching is quite noble, I had opted for being a police officer over teaching.
Yes, thank you, Sergeant Magoya. You know, similarly, growing up in the village area, we were afraid of police officers as well. I am from here, and there was this gentleman, Star Taylor. From time to time, when I see him, he would tell me that he would lock me up, and I used to cry as a little boy. So we feared police that way. So we used to run when police come in. These days,
right,
the youngsters are more confrontational than anything else.
Yeah.
So we need to go back to those teachings.
Right. I think the teaching of your parents, because sometimes you see a police officer, you hear your mother tell you, "Officer, come lock him up," and so on, and that molest. And I don't think that your parents really wanted to see that happen, but it was a way to kind of drive the kind of fear in you, so that you be good, you don't misbehave and those kind of things.
Right. You are supervisor of the old police station. What villages?
You have another call?
Okay. Call, are we listening? Call, listening?
Yes, Alric.
Morning.
I asked my good friend at Woodward. He was talking about a program in the early years in this country where it was so successful. But because of bad-minded commissioner, trying everything to mash it up. And this is where we are. But it's good to hear him as a member, as a driver behind that program, to hear him talking about it. Alric, I want to ask 2 questions, you know. I want to know what's happening with my friend Henry, Arthur Henry. A good man. A man who anybody could go to. You got belly problem, you want plans, man, it's so sad, you hear? And I asked him the High Command, please to come to the public and give us some information about this man. This is a good man, and think it's losing good men. The question to my brother in New York, a lot of the young men driven by the parents to be gangsters. They want to be good citizens no more. And here's where we're going. That's why we have to be selective with what's going on in St. Kitts. And I'm warning people, you know. I'm warning people. Especially these young people and young men. Go and look at job and put something down in the social security. And I dog and eat your bread on the table. I have the beggars in the country. This is where I jam down here looking at right now. I urge every young man to get into the law enforcement. This is weekend. This ain't a foreign thing. I ain't going down there, Ukraine. I ain't think it's what I can think it. To make use of the opportunities where the government providing. We ain't got no factories to employ you. That's why you're not on the road, begging, doing bad things, hurting your neighbor, jumping through the window, taking where the work so hard for. Join the force, join these organizations, and get a start. Some of your head is very light. Right. And I want to be up and down 4th Street scene young, with pants down by the knees. But I have a lucky man like Robert Bradley and I know. That's what we want in this country. Show leadership. Have a good day with.
Thank you, Jam Down, for your contribution. You would have asked a question about the Arthur Henry's matter. The matter is still under investigation, and there is not much I can say in relation to that. You asked another question?
Well, that was
the basic question. And then he would have spoke to his brother. Spoke to his brother. And are there any more callers? Caller, we listening? Caller, one we listening?
Good morning, Inspector.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and good morning, Joe. Mr. Maguire?
Yes.
Sergeant Maguire? Brother Maguire? Good morning.
Yes, morning.
Yes. Nice listening to you all. Informing the nation. Police in review. Now, my minute this morning is the same thing about people missing And I believe that's happening to us now. And I believe that the police, we are going to work with the community, people in the community, and investigate these things. Because a lot of people in the community know these things and know what they want. But because of it, sometimes they don't want to know. But when a family member them get in that situation, they want everybody come down and the police can come down. You all can be there and everywhere to see what's going on. And we, as citizens of this country, in the community, got to work with you all. You know? These things happening to us, you know, people just taking up people or doing whatever to people, and people missing. I know that you are doing hard, I know you are working, you are showing you all endeavor best to do what you all can do, to bring that perpetrator to justice. Who do that? Now, I want to tell the first caller that I myself encourage a lot of young men to go in the police force. You understand? But I believe that you can visit things regular. You may ask the question. You understand? Let me tell you something. You know, I was on the football field at the village. And I see some Nigerian up here practicing and so. I see two huge fellas, so I have to tell them. You are looking at the cricket man of football, man. They told me no. I said, where you from? Tell me from Jamaica. I said, where you from? Say from Jamaica. So we work hard. What sport you have? Work hard. Tell me in the police force. I said, anyway, that's good. Because we all are one Caribbean people and we're Jamaica. You know? All that I'm here, stupid, not good. And I believe that the brilliant thing is going to be a police. But they want to be different. So if they want to be different, nobody, no parents, and nobody could force them to do what they want to do. Because I'm no parents tell the son, man, join the army, join the police force. But there's something in here to do. But you see, I tell them want to be in the lack behavior, smoke and drink and do the like. And when in the police force, they can smoke and drink and do the like. So anyway, nice listening to you all and continue public evaluation with policing with you.
Thank you, Mr. Politics, for your contribution. Are there any more callers? Caller listening.
Hello. Good morning, GQ.
Hey, morning, Jam. Sorry. Good morning, Culture.
Yeah, and good morning, Mr. Alwick and the other policemen there.
Morning, Culture.
Morning.
Yeah. Jam down by you ammunition could go, Ukraine go help fight up Russia. You're powerful. Now, to the first caller, Jam down Borough. A lot of young people here in St. Kitts do not want to go in the police force. I don't know for what reason. I know some of the reasons, but I would not say it on the radio. But I would advise them, the best thing to do is to be a law-abiding citizen and help to push your country forward by enforcing the law. Now, Brother Alwick, I heard you use a word there, that when you were small, you were afraid of police.
Yes, sir.
I myself used to run from them too, because I don't know if I say anything and they would have locked me up. But nowadays, the word that you use is confrontation people want to have with police.
Yep.
That is why I always advocate that they need to put back the baton, the mahogany wood in the police pocket, because you cannot put a gun in every policeman's hand. Because some of them fingers were free. And once they have the baton, they will stand up to any kind of confrontation. But a lot of people realize police do not have nothing to defend themselves. And so therefore they want to put up all kind of confrontation and put up hand in face and all of that. So I am asking the big man of the commissioner, give back the police, then the baton is part of the uniform. Now about this missing thing, Arthur Henry, it sounds so bad on the radio. Arthur is a man, a very friendly, helpful man. Since he got to school, I know him. And see where he live? All the way fountain in the ground. And whoever went up there, they've been planning for that. And they catch, I could tell you, they catch Arthur off guard, you know. Because if they never had what they had to subdue Arthur, they would have been down on the ground. Now, my question now, do the police have dog, search dog? And if they have, are they expired? Because if they are active, all you have to do is to take the top a top piece of any last victim clothes, especially the top piece, because your perspiration on the arm, it stays in your clothes, not the pants. Don't use the pants. All kind of thing in pants. And once the dog is active, all you have to do, freshen up the scent of the person by the dog nose and put it back in the bag, so that you don't distract the dog from finding who were lost. We need new dogs. And that's all I have to ask. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for listening. Good program.
Thank you. Good. Thank you, Carlo. On the question that you would have posed, we are presently sourcing new dogs. The dogs that we have presently we have retired, and so we are presently sourcing new canines for various reasons that you would have alluded to just now, for tracking, drug, explosive, those kind of things. But thank you for your question, and thank you, Culture. You have always been a person who supports this show. Thank you again. Carl, listening. Morning.
Hello, Alright?
Yes, Carl, listening.
Alright.
Hey, morning.
Culture right, and you also right. But what we want in this thing is right now, at this time, we need body finishing dogs. And when things like what happened to Henry happen, especially in the mountain, you could take these dogs up there and find these bodies.
Yeah, we call them choppers.
And come with the puppeteer.
Yes,
because this thing is hurting in the community, man. You know, a good guy like Arthur. Every Saturday you go down there, you see this man got much blood you feed in this country. And ignorant people come up there to hurt him. All because he say, man, why are you going to be doing like that? This thing is hurting. I want to share my sentiments with the family. A family showing up from another boy. But that's it. One choose to live there. Kaya and others. I keep up by yourself because God in this year, you know. And we have a prime minister who feels things and he loves people. Have a good day.
Thank you, Jam Dong, for your contribution. Mr. Magoya, you're supervisor of the Older Police Station. What villages cover the district?
Right, so the policing district within Old Road, it takes in West Farm, Boyd's, Trinity, Challenger, Stone Fort, Old Road, Green Tree, Wingfield, Estate, Middle Island, Broadchilds, right over to Canners. And so Canners is the last village adjoining Gadwingot.
Oh, okay.
And so those are the villages that within the Old Road Policing District and the boundaries in which we police.
Thank you, Mr. Magoya. What are some of the most pressing issues you have to tackle in those areas?
Right. Well, we always work towards bridging the gap in the relationship between the police and the community. In doing so, we try to have community engagement, and in addition, I would have formulated an initiative which is dubbed as the District Advisory Committee on Community Policing and Crime Prevention, because I always believe that we are supposed to foster that social responsibility. I always reflect back to during the time of Sir Robert Peel, where each person have a civic responsibility, and so I really hope that efforts like these, programs like this, can more or less restore and inspire that civic responsibility within the community. So the group that I form is that it touches different stakeholders within each village. Whether you're a teacher, you are a church leader, you are whatever profession you operate from, we try to get you involved to more or less encourage that kind of active participation in your community. You asked the question about challenge. one of the major challenges that I find in the district is traffic, road safety. And let me take the opportunity now, Inspector, to apologize to the general public, especially those persons who are commuting from the western end into Bastia for the inconvenience of the congestion of the traffic. And that is the thing about policing. You are serving, and so while one issue, there is another issue. And so we had a little bit of logistic challenge this morning. The intention was, the traffic was taken into consideration. The intention was really to get the work done by 7:30 in anticipation that the traffic peaks beyond that point. But that was not done so logistically. So I want to apologize to those who have been inconvenienced for that setback this morning. So road safety, because Old Road is known for a lot of traffic accidents. The good thing, thankfully, that even though that there are quite a number of traffic accidents, a majority of the traffic accidents are what we call fender benders. They are not they are minor accidents. But because of speeding, when one is commuting and traversing the traffic, that has been a challenge. And so that is also one of the station objective in providing that ongoing safety of the public in terms of road safety.
You just highlighted accidents as a issue,
Yes.
major issue. Can you touch more? Maybe to take this opportunity to speak to the general public as
right, because especially in the tourist season, you know that Old Road has some of the tourist attraction. You have Carnival Batik, you have this zip line and other areas. So even with the increase of taxi tours and other persons going about the normal duty, so you realize that at certain point there is an increased volume of traffic, and so the challenges that the bus drivers are generally young drivers, and they take the opportunity to see how much quick dollar they can make, and in doing so they drive very fast. And not only the bus drivers, I don't want to be knocking the bus drivers, because the truth is that we have accidents among different motorists, and so it's just for some persons to always drive with that mindset of looking out for the other person.
and that is important, Mr. Maguire, because I don't want to be knocking the various road users, motorists, but I believe, I say this when I drive in, I don't know why Kitishon drive like how we think. We just drive,
and there is no far.
No far. Just
take it to where it's body, get them quickly.
A person will prevent you from coming out.
Right.
And if you do not come out at a junction, then you block up the traffic. But they will not let you out. I don't know why. Like, you need to drive thinking about the other person that is driving, and we do not do that. We drive think about ourselves. I don't know why we do that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And so you have your words are very, very, very well spoken. Very well spoken, because I always drive and I always wonder why people drive like this. Why?
Yeah.
Even driving through the in Bastia, when we're driving through the lights, I'm not going to be in front driving slowly, ain't care about who behind him, who I really want to pass. He just driving, taking it one time, but you don't think about other people. If you think about the other person who are driving, then it make driving easier,
right?
Especially in Bastia when it's congested. Yeah. So, well spoken, Mr. Maguire. Members of the community also have a role in keeping their community safe. Tell us more about how they can do so.
Right. Again, the civic responsibility. Over the years, the community has become tolerance, acceptance to the perception where that if you share information to the police, if you engage the police, you are considered a rat, and so on. And because of that, that somewhat stigmatized persons, and then persons become concerned or fearful to even want to have that working relationship, that cooperative and collaborative effort between the police. But I think in relation to just as an example why it is necessary for the persons to really take on that civic responsibility. Take for example crime. Crime affects everybody. It affects you somehow or the other, whether directly, indirectly, and in most cases, crime affects you. It affects the individual. It affects businesses. It affects economically, which is the country, and also it affects the community as a whole, and so. It erodes that luxury or that benefit of community safety, feeling safe at home, feeling safe in your communities, feeling safe in the country as a whole. And so it means therefore that the police effort alone will not suffice in maintaining that safety and that stability. And so the civic responsibility of every citizen to really have that responsibility in crime fighting is really necessary more than ever. And so that is one of the reasons, that's how the District Advisory Committee and Crime Prevention and Policing was conceptualized, because it's a way to really get people to work together in partnership with the police.
Yes.
And that is what we have tried to do in Olo.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Maguire. Did you get no calls? So, Mr. Maguire, in wrapping up, what would you want to tell the general public or the listening public?
Right. Well, first, thanks for the opportunity to come and speak to the general public, and at the same time to showcase the Old Road Police Station and what we are doing in the district. Perhaps the next time I must have one or two of the officers accompany me, so that the listeners does not only become acquainted with me as the person working in Old Road, they also can become acquainted with the officers, because the responsibility of police in the Old Road Police District is really the officers, my subordinates, who are the one who really execute the task, the responsibility. I provide the supervision and the support in that, the guidance and so on. And so I will like to encourage not only those who are residents in the Old Road Policing District, but every listener to always find it the best way how you can partner with the police, how you can work with the police. I think sometimes we have this promotion, if you see something, say something. And it sounds like a cliche, but if you really examine it, it's really a good perception and a good mentality or attitude to adopt. That, because at the end of the day, all of us are affected, whether directly or indirectly. And so if each of us take that responsibility in information sharing, working together to solve community challenges, because it may be on an issue where person, a community may have challenges in relation to vulnerability. And so it's for each person individually first and collectively as a community to see where there are vulnerabilities that makes you susceptible to becoming victims of crime, and how you can work together as a community to more or less making it more difficult for persons to want to see take opportunities for criminal activities. And so the partnership is very critical, and so I would like to encourage persons to continue to work in partnership with the police.
Yes. I too like to join you, Mr. Maguire, Sergeant Maguire, and encourage the community to partner with the police. We cannot do it alone. The police cannot do it alone, and so I encourage you wholeheartedly to, if you see something, say something, and it makes the community even better. And Mr. Maguire spoke about the luxury of
being safe
and so it can only be safe if you partner with us, and if you see something, you say something to make our work easier and make situation like the one person are calling in and echoing the concerns about, easy for the police to investigate and bring perpetrators to justice. I want to thank GQ as usual for being the reliable moderator you have always been from weekly. I want to thank the management staff of ZZ for allowing us to be here week after week. Right. I want to thank Mr. Maguire. I know you're busy. Being a sergeant in a station is very time consuming. I know you could be out elsewhere, but you chose to be here. I want to thank the callers, Jam Down Culture, usual callers, and Mr. Wilshire. Thank you for calling, and all the person who are thinking about calling and afraid to call in, I want to encourage you to call in, because without your calling in, the show is pointless. I want to thank you guys for listening, and see you guys next week Thursday. Thank you.
Unite as one. Let us unite as one. Tell me what you know about love. Tell me what you know about hate that keeps us separated. Tell me what you think about equal